Good morning, folks. First things first, we were supposed to get back on trail yesterday, which was Friday. We didn't. Today is Saturday, it's about 11:15. There is no excuse. Basically, we just didn't want to get back on trail yesterday. I think basically by the time you get into town and you've kind of done all your jobs like laundry, resupply, Amelia had like 6 days worth of blog to catch up on, I had 5 videos to do. By the time you've done that, your first day is pretty much gone, and you've not really had a rest when you've been kind of running around doing stuff. So yesterday it was approaching checkout time and we kind of just said, let's just have a rest day. I think we both need it. Just a day where we do absolutely nothing. And that's what we did. So we have just got dropped off by Jack, who is a really, really nice guy that lives locally. He gave us a ride into town when we got off trail, gave us a card and said, if you need a ride anywhere, give me a call. And he's just gone completely out of his way this morning to bring us back to the trailhead. So Jack, thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated. And he wouldn't even take any money either. We tried to give him some gas money and he wouldn't take it. So really nice guy. Anyway, we're back at the trailhead. That's where we got off the other day. There's some sort of event on. I don't think it's trail magic. There's some sort of event with like day hikers and runners and things like that. And all these vans with numbers in. So I'm not sure what's going on. But we've both gotten resupplied. Centipede has got rid of a lot of stuff out of her pack. She was carrying some, what I would call, luxuries that were a little unnecessary. She's had a good route through her pack. She sent a lot of stuff home. And she's actually doing pretty well with her pack weight. Mine, because I kind of went a little overboard on food, I think I'm possibly a little worried about running out of food again, like I almost did last time. So I've gone a little bit overkill with food this time. And boy, can I feel it in my pack as well. So yeah, as I was saying, we just got back on the trail at mile 266.1, where the trail crosses Highway 18. It's about 10:45 a.m. This is going to be day 21 for me. I'm going to put day 20 in the video title, just so I don't confuse myself and other people. So I'll put day 20 and 21 on the title. But it won't have any footage of day 20, sorry. That was literally a day of eating junk food and watching TV. And it was great. We are in, oh, look at these. Look at the colour on those. Really bright. The forecast is for a lot cooler temperatures over the next few days and the possibility of some snow. We are headed upwards slightly to, I believe, what's termed the high desert. So it is still desert, it's just higher in elevation than what we've been used to. So it's obviously going to be a little chillier. Anyway, I'm really out of breath already. So I'm going to stop talking and get walking. So just after noon, maybe around mile 270 or something like that. That big expanse down there of dryness is Baldwin Lake, I believe. Sometimes fills up with snow melt. It comes down off the mountains. It was very dry when we went into town. There was a little bit of rain yesterday. When we came out today, there was a little bit of water sat in the bottom of it. Just climbing this hill at the moment. Centipede's about probably a quarter to a half mile behind me. Finding it quite tough going, to be honest. The pack feels the heaviest it's ever felt on this trip. At least I know I'm not going to run out of food. There is an organised event on. It's a charity fundraising walk for Make-A-Wish. 29 miles in one day. And there's quite a few people out partaking in that, which is nice to see. I did make a tiny donation. Had like a few dollars left in the front of my pocket. So I handed that to one of the hikers. My good deed for the day. It's really overcast, not overcast, but it's very cloudy. There's a lot of cloud cover in the sky, but it is really, really warm and sticky. Occasionally there'll be a little breeze, but not a great deal. I'm hoping there might be a bit more when I'm guessing we get on to the top of this plateau type thing that we're walking up at the moment. The scenery has definitely changed though. Like the plant types, even the trail that you're walking on, it's a lot stonier. There's a lot more of this type, sort of scrub and pine. I think it's really interesting how things can change literally just by crossing a road or crossing a highway or something like that. It changes within a couple of minutes and you're into a different kind of topography and different vegetation and all that kind of thing. Oh, just don't know if you saw that little chipmunk type thing ran across the trail in front of me. I'd love to get one of them on film, but they're just so fast, they're like the lizards. By the time you've got your camera out, they're about a tenth of a mile away. Mile 271, minus about a tenth. It's just around about 2 p.m. I think. We had a nice little stop for lunch. We both packed out completely different foods to what we've been using so far out of Big Bear Lake. So I had a couple of avocados. I've had one of those this lunchtime in a wrap with some hot sauce and some Dorito type things. It was actually really, really nice. And Centipede had some beef, like, you know, the tuna packets that I was getting, and then the chicken ones. You can also get beef ones, and she's tried them. Verdict on those? Verdict on the beef? Pretty good. Okay. Yeah, someone's not a fan of tuna. So we've got some water coming up in maybe 3 or 4 miles-ish. Probably just top up there and hopefully carry on. Centipede does seem to be moving a heck of a lot better than she was before with these new shoes, and she's got two lots of lifts in the back of them to give us some higher stack height, which seems to be helping. Yep, thumbs up for that one. If you don't know, by the way, what is the condition you have? Is it EDS? Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So your joints are a lot more mobile than normal, is that correct? Yeah. And after years of basically thrashing her ankles at ballet and ice skating and all sorts of different things like that, she does have a few mobility issues. But yeah, definitely moving a lot better today than any time I've seen on trail so far. So we're quite happy about that. There's some big old snow-capped mountains that keep popping through this little view in front of us, and they do seem pretty close as well. Unfortunately, they've disappeared from view now. We did see a tent site when we were sat at lunch. We saw a tent site that was about 8.5 miles in front of us. So we're kind of aiming towards that tonight. See, it's just going to be a matter of see how we feel and see how far we can get, I think. One thing that is going to impact this section, there is a little trail closure around the Wrightwood area. Is it due to a fire? Yeah, it's due to a fire that I believe happened either last year or possibly the year before, I can't remember. But I think there's roughly, is it about a 10-mile stretch? 30? Yeah. Oh, okay, right, there's about a 30-mile stretch of the PCT closed. So basically, just before Wrightwood, we have to pretty much go down this dirt road, get off the PCT, go down a dirt road sidetrack, and hitch into Wrightwood. I imagine we'll be stopping there for either 1 or 2 nights, and then when we come out of Wrightwood, we've got to do a similar thing. You've got to skip part of the PCT and get back on a little bit later, I believe. But we shall plan that more when we get closer to the area. We've just seen also 2 guys that we've been hiking kind of past and behind for the past week or so. Danny, who's an American guy, and Eero, who's the Finnish guy. Don't know if you remember from the Mission Creek videos, he was the guy in the blue hiking top. So we thought they left yesterday, but they did the same as us. They took a 00, and they're maybe half a mile or a mile in front of us. I would imagine we'll see them this evening at some point. But they're a nice couple of guys. We were just saying they're really nice guys, and they've got a nice pace. They're just steady. It's nice to hike around them. Well, we've just passed a couple of the day hikers that are on the kind of charity walk, and they were saying that they have an aid station where our next water source is, funnily enough. So now, obviously, my mind has immediately turned to, what have they got for me? It's funny, it's like I've not even been back on trail like 4 hours yet, and I'm already thinking about, oh, maybe they've got like soda, or maybe they've got fresh fruit or something like that. It's really strange how your brain works. Yesterday, I sat in the room, and I'm not even exaggerating now, I ate 2 pints of ice cream. I'm not even ashamed of it either. I'm quite proud of it. 2 pints of ice cream, half a bag of kettle chips, what else? A 10-inch pizza, might have been a small pack of donuts, possibly, the little Hostess donut things. You've got to get your calories while you can, like a bear, basically. You've got to stash it in there when you can. But I will say that even though I've never tried it before, I am now a big fan of the Ben & Jerry's Cherry Garcia ice cream flavour. That is absolutely delicious. I'm still on the hunt for some Talenti though. I've only seen the sorbetto Talenti so far, and that's not really what I wanted yesterday. So we've just left the water source. There's a few hikers there actually that I've met in the past, but I haven't seen for probably a couple of weeks now. It's probably the first week on trail that I saw them. So it's nice to catch up with them again. This little section we're coming into, we're heading for a tent site that's about 5 miles away, and there are only like 2 tent sites marked on the trail on the app. I think one of them's a 3, one of them's maybe a 5, something like that, I can't remember. But just coming through this forest, it's quite obvious that there are a lot of sites that people have used in the past. You can basically tell where there's like some rocks where people have used them to hammer stakes in and things like that, and to put on top of stakes. You can tell the sites that have been used in the past. There's loads of flat areas. So whereas I don't like disturbing ground that hasn't been disturbed before, as long as it looks like it's been used before, I'm okay with putting the tent up on it. The wind is definitely a lot cooler than it was this morning. There you go. Look, that's not marked on the app, and that is clearly a tent site. That's what I mean. You can look at the app and think, oh man, I'm not going to be able to find anywhere to sleep tonight, because I know for a fact there's like 8 hikers in front of me and they're all looking for somewhere to sleep. You can get yourself I can get myself a little bit worried if I start thinking like that. But when you start looking around, it's going to be a bad night if you can't find somewhere to put your tent somewhere like in a forest like this. So yeah, sorry, the wind's picked up. It's definitely a little cooler. And the clouds are looking quite a bit darker as well. There is rain forecast for tomorrow especially, possibly sometime today as well. I think at higher elevations, if it's cold enough, it might even be a bit of snow. Hopefully we won't get that. So I can't remember if I said on the last video or not that I'd bought some new hydration packets to try out. I won't be buying them again because they were very expensive. They were, I believe, $14.95 for 6 sachets, which the way I'm using them, that's 3 days worth. So that's pretty expensive. But they're pineapple yuzu flavour, or yuzu pineapple. And they're really, really tasty. I like them anyway. The brand is Liquid IV. They're also powder sachets, and they're pretty heavy. You compare them to the Gatorade sachets, they're like 2 or 3 times as heavy, or it seems that way anyway. But yeah, I've gone through one of those today. I might put another one in this evening. So I've been trying to catch up with people that have supported me over the last few days. I know that there's one person that I haven't mentioned that has supported me, and I am really, really sorry. I know you're out there somewhere, but I cannot find your name at the moment. I'm really sorry to give you a shout out, but thank you very much. And then the latest shout out to David F. Thank you very much. Very, very nice of you. And it really is appreciated. It makes a big difference. So thank you once again. I'm glad that people out there are enjoying the content. It really does make a big difference to me when I know that people, apart from me, and some of my family members are watching these videos and enjoying them. So thank you very much. All right, guys, it's probably 5:30 p.m. We're still walking. We've got maybe 3 miles to go to where we want to get to. The wind is really, really cold, and it's pretty strong as well now. But we've got a really nice view here, looking down onto Big Bear Lake, where we were. Kind of wish I was down there again at the moment, to be honest. You might just be able to make out, I'm going to try and zoom in. Forgive me if I get it wrong. There is almost like a white observation tower down there. That is the Big Bear Lake Eagle Cam. So if you're not aware, there's a pair of eagles that are nesting here. They've got some young in the nest that are about ready to fly. And that is the camera that kind of looks after them, or keeps an eye on them. It's quite interesting. But it's a really, really nice view, is that? All right, so we are at 7 p.m, pretty much on the dot. And also at pretty much mile 280, may just be slightly past it. The girls are set up just in the trees over here. There's been a little bad news today. So there was Pink Panther, Eden, Jenna, whose trail name is Danger, and Centipede. They were kind of the four that were walking together. Eden has unfortunately finished her hike today. She was having quite a few problems with her feet, I believe, and after getting back on trail today, after kind of bouncing around a few places, she's decided that she's just having too much pain with her feet. So bad news for the girls, bad news for Eden, obviously. Not nice when you have to call a hike like that. So at the moment, over there, there is Centipede, Pink Panther and Jenna, who I shall try and refer to as Danger, if I remember. And I have just come over here. I thought I'd just leave them to catch up, basically, because they've not seen each other for a few days. I have pitched up over here, and it's actually a really, really nice spot. I'm surrounded by pine cones, so I'm kind of hoping that nothing's going to punch through the DCF in the middle of the night. Let's just see. Oh, these ones are really light. They're not too heavy at all. It's the ones that are about 2 kilograms that you need to worry about. So obviously this isn't again marked on the Far Out app as a camp spot, but you can see here somebody has had a campfire, which I will not be doing. And you can also see there's quite a few sort of tent rings around. There's loads of flat space here. You could fit like 20 tents here in different places. Excuse me, sorry for the sniffling. It's pretty cold at the moment. Seem to be getting slightly better at setting the tent up. It is nice flat ground here. Very nice. I've had to anchor the stakes down again with stones. At the moment it's not too windy either, it's quite nice and sheltered. It's actually a nice camp spot, I do like it. I'm hoping I'm going to have quite a nice night. The sun is going down just over there, and I've got kind of a view over the valley here. Looking out, it's not bad at all. So I am going to get some coffee and some food going because I really, really want a hot drink at the moment. So we've ended up doing 266, 280, about 14 miles today, which is really, really good considering we started at somewhere around 11 a.m. and we've stopped quite a few times as well. Centipede, unfortunately, is having some issues with pain, whether it's the weight of the pack with the food in, whether it's the new shoes that aren't quite working out, we're not too sure. But she's been having some pain today, unfortunately. She's soldiered on, she's pushed through it, and she's done 14 miles and not complained much at all. So top marks to her for doing that. Anyway, yes, I shall stop rabbiting on. Sorry about that, and I'll probably go and sit in the tent and cook myself up something warm. So I've got to admit, usually on an evening in camp, I'm not too hungry. And this time I've kind of gone for a few more snacky type things. So I've got the packet of pizza goldfish there that someone recommended, and they are actually quite nice. I've got 2 bags of nuts to work my way through. I've got plenty of Cliff bars and bars and things like that. But I do like, if I can, even if it is just a ramen, just one ramen, just something warm, basically, something hot. I couldn't do cold soaking, that wouldn't be for me. And obviously a cup of coffee as well. And I'm one of those people that can drink like 2 cups of coffee and then basically fall asleep 5 minutes after. So coffee on an evening doesn't really bother me too much generally. But it's about 7:30 now, and I'm going to eat this and then probably go through the footage from today, then probably listen to a bit of music. I've been really enjoying that on an evening, actually. Just seems to help me drift off, basically, to sleep. So hopefully tonight there won't be any coyotes or braying donkeys to keep me awake. It does seem like it's quite a nice, peaceful spot.